I'm 22 years old and for the first time,
I'm done.
I quit. This is my 1 month notice. If you are trying to live an exciting life, this is the #1 question that should be on your mind. How can I remove the most mediocrity out of my life and add the most excitement? So today, I'm gonna be breaking down the 3 steps you can take to remove mediocrity from your life and take it back. And the last one is the one that changed my life the most for putting in the least amount of effort. Does it feel like your day-to-day life has just become complacent, mediocre? Well, I did, and for that reason, I quit. Mediocrity is when you are not that bad that you realize that you need to have change. It's that level right above discomfort that keeps you sedated, complacent. I have never managed a lab before. They even gave me a badge. Here, let me give you an example. When you want to cook a frog, you don't put it in boiling water because as soon as you drop the frog in this boiling pot, he'll spasm out and jump out immediately. What you do instead is put nice, lukewarm, cold water even, and you put it on the stove and you slowly crank up the heat. This way, the frog gets calm, acclimatized to the increasing level of temperature. He doesn't realize that he's being boiled alive. He doesn't realize that his problems are slowly compiling, yet he's calmly within this pot. And then all of a sudden, when he sees the water bubble start boiling over him, it's too late. He doesn't have enough energy, his muscles don't work properly, and he can no longer escape. This is what people don't realize about mediocrity. It's the silent killer. This is how being a C+ player becomes unnoticed and is worse than any sudden change, like a death in the family, because at least those tragedies bring you to the sudden realization that something in your life needs to change. It must have been so miserable. Why'd you quit? It all started at this desk. They hired me to be a lab manager.
It wasn't so bad. I got a nice view, a nice salary, people to work for. But it was this one thing.
It was killing my soul. Now, on the inverse, mediocrity isn't strong enough to get you where you need to be. So it brings me to my second point. It doesn't let you achieve your goals in the same time frame as you could if you really needed it. You see, let me give you the example. If you were ever a child or a student and you had a project due at midnight and you didn't want to do that project, you worked from 3 p.m., 4 p.m. to just procrastinate, push it off. You tried to fill your time with cartoons, whatever it was. And then, once 11 o'clock hit, you realized you only had 1 hour left. Can you realize that the amount of energy, the amount of focus you put into that, you just extracted as much value out of your own mind and crammed in as much as you could in that one period of time? That's just because you have the ability to motivate yourself to become a stronger human being, to focus harder and to give more output. It's like the mother that needs to lift a car because their child is underneath the car. They can just summon the energy because of the necessity. And when you live in a mediocre life, and when you live in a life that is mediocre, you don't have the same time frame. You don't have the ability to just cram certain hours in. Being mediocre and complacent allows you to barely hit deadlines, but never have the drive to question your timeline. You finish things late, you barely care for the end result, and you only can accept challenges that are within your comfort zone. This doesn't allow you to grow. You don't realize it, but you are made to be moving at a faster rate than what you are comfortable with, and that is called growth. Now, this brings me to the most important point that actually brought me to leave my comfort zone, to get me out of that complacency, to remove the glasses off my eyes. It's the third point, and it's who you are around. Being mediocre spreads like a virus. The classic example is that you're in a classroom and you hear somebody cough or sneeze and you smell it, you can feel it all over you. You wake up the next morning and you have a sore throat. This is the exact same way that mediocrity can infect your life. You see, people just let themselves be surrounded by people that are just poor-minded. They let themselves be demotivated in times of need. But when you sit with people that like to consume all day long, you don't question how much more possibilities you have. You think it's okay to lay on the couch. But imagine that you teleport yourself to the front lines in Ukraine. Would you sit there mindlessly scrolling on the couch on Netflix? No. People would be screaming for you to pull your own weight, for you to feel the social pressure, to fight or flight. But you sit around in your routine with people that haven't changed their routines in years. This is why I had to quit my job. I cannot sit in this complacency. I would rather sit with a fire under my feet, with a burning budget, than to lose myself in mediocrity. Okay guys, I'm Adriano Crespo. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe.